And we are live.
Aloha, snack bar, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever the heck in the world you are. It is V, the Gorilla Economist, coming to you live with the main man, the uncanny producer, the unflappable sidekick, the one and only CJ. And we're here. I'm freezing my rear end off in New York, man. How about you?
Yeah, it was very chilly this morning. Yesterday there was this, hard blowing breeze. It was just freezing. But
Oh
you
man,
took the blunt of the snow though.
yeah, bro. I think we had like over 14 inches easy. It's easily over a foot of snow. Got hammered, but hey, what can you do? And here I am saying, "Oh, we're having such a mild winter. What can possibly happen?"
That's too funny. Yeah.
Spoke too soon. Spoke too
Spoke
soon.
too soon.
As
Definitely.
always, man. As always. Anyway, CJ, what is on the menu in terms of
Yeah. Hey,
news,
make
bro?
sure just want to make sure our listeners go to roguemoney.net. Make sure to check out. There's some great articles up there. Bankster Slayer posted one as yesterday. Antarctica sent packing in 1947. The Wolf came in and posted one. The trend is your friend. And then also Ken Shortkin Jr. with sanctions against Russia as good as dead, but reverse sanctions from Moscow working just fine. So check out those articles. Our contributors do a great job. They put a lot of passion, a lot of hard work into their articles. So check those out.
Absolutely, some of the best writing you'll ever read. Period, bar none. With that being said, my man, it seems like the liberal courts are striking back against Trump. The deep state on the move.
Yeah. So yesterday the what is the court out of what the federal court out of District 9 or something like that, they
Yeah,
decided
the
to go
Ninth
ahead.
Circuit. The Ninth
Yeah, they
Circuit. Court of Schlemiel.
the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals decided to go ahead and keep the state. Now, they argued the point was that the Trump administration didn't do enough to come back and really say why they warranted the ban. But it's interesting enough that they couldn't stand by
Because
their.
we're at war, you dumbasses. We're at war.
And here's the thing, B, they couldn't even stand by their decision. So when they published their findings, they didn't even put their names to it, so they could avoid the backlash from Trump on Twitter.
Bunch of punks. And they're supposed to be like the fearless ones, the Ninth Circuit.
Well, and if you think about it this way, and this is what always kills me with these courts and their decisions and everything, and how they like to play politics too much, is that just think back to the Obamacare on the legality regarding the administration having the ability to tax. And again, they didn't call it a tax back then; they called it a penalty. We all knew what it was. There was a tax that came down, and
1,000.
here the U.S. Supreme Court upholds that decision, and they actually called it a tax that the executive branch gave them the powers to do that. So again, there's no consistency, V, and that's the argument. That's my point.
Yeah, because the whole entire court systems are pretty much run by activist judges. How dare you? How dare you make a national security decision? How dare you, courts, put the American public at risk? What information do you have when a president tries to protect the citizens of the country and moves unilaterally via executive orders in order to get that done? And you're going to come in and whose rights are you defending? Whose rights are they defending, CJ? I mean, seriously. It's not the American public. Oh, we got to look at the Constitution. What the Constitution, again, for the Ninth Circuit and all the circle jerkers out there and the libtards, the Constitution protects Americans. It is for American citizens. It is not for immigrants who are coming here from 7 countries that are hotspots of lunacy. Okay? I mean, it's that simple, CJ. I don't get it.
Yeah, so obviously, this is going to go to the higher court. There's a couple different paths to getting this resolved. So obviously, they can go back in and to modify the order a little bit to remove the language regarding permanent green card people that were actually part of that list that were not allowed to travel. Which again, the Trump administration came back and they said, hey, listen, we didn't mean to include those green cards. It's okay for them to to come back to the United States, because that did make an impact. But then more importantly, so when you think of it, the courts and the system, there's a way that it works is that the executive orders, they've been done for several years, and there's been a lot of other precedents established, and they're just doing it just because they want social justice, because with the news and the media and them hyping this all up, and they're buying into that.
Yeah. What do we want? Peace. When do we want it now? No fascism, USA. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump's got to go. Hey, hey. I mean, come on.
Love Trump hates. Love Trump hates.
Yeah, love Trump hates. Meanwhile, they're breaking like Starbucks windows and punching people in the face from the back of their head and from the side when people aren't looking. Such excuse me, such brave libtards they are. Such brave libtards.
Yeah, and you see what it's doing to the American people in terms of the fourth quarter last year. That an interesting article that a record number of Americans renounced U.S. citizenship in 2016. It was a 2,200% surge under Obama's reign.
Yep. People saw the handwriting on the wall. They're like, yo, if this guy is this bad, what's going to happen if Hillary Clinton, just in case she gets in power, I got to get out of here. Hey, man, I would have been one of those citizens. I'll be honest with you. I was looking to exit stage left, man. 2016 was a nail biter. I'll be honest with you. It was a nail biter.
It was. And I think you're exactly right that it was that whole fourth quarter where there was that uncertainty that, are they going to steal the election? Are they going to take it? So a lot of people were like, hey, you know what? I'm not waiting for this to happen. I'm getting the hell out of Dodge.
Absolutely, man. Then you have the other side. They're like, they're going to kill him and then declare martial law. I'm like, what? So, yeah, man, it was scary. It was a nail biter. It was an absolute nail biter. I was like, exit stage left. I needed to get that out. I was like, all right, what do I got some options to skedaddle over to. And I'm telling you right now, if Hillary Clinton would have won, I would have left, because I knew the future of America was a giant mushroom cloud. And, I was like, I got to go. Unreal, man. Unreal. But let's see how many of those American citizens come back. Especially especially when the MAGA starts kicking off real hard over here.
Yeah, so that was very interesting. Then we saw some preliminary numbers that came out in regards to the wall. The cost is looking at $22 billion, and a lot of people keep coming back. We told you that Mexico wasn't going to pay for it, this and that. Well, it's not a done deal yet, folks. There's still a lot of play in this. This is still very early in the negotiation stage.
Absolutely. And one thing, let me tell the rest of the country what we New Yorkers know about Donald. Okay. Donald Trump always comes in under budget and ahead of schedule. Believe that. This wall is going to be far less than $22 billion, and it's going to be a lot sooner than 3 years. Try maybe a year and a half. And just and almost 50% less. I guarantee you. And Mexico will have a way of paying for it. I promise you that. It's going to happen. There's an issue with Mexico, and I'm detailing that in this article that I'm writing. Okay, that's going to spill a lot of the beans on what's happening. Article's almost done. I'm trying not to make it more than 500 words, so it really captures a lot of the thought. And when that's out there, you guys will see what I'm talking about. Anyway, man.
Well, gosh, this thing just really frustrates me, because you're talking about people that came to this country illegally when there is a legal means to do that, right? And we've detailed this out numerous times. But V, I have one question though. Why is it that we Americans, or not all of us, obviously, feel that illegals coming to this country have more rights than citizens?
Because we've become the socially engineered, emasculated population that you see in Europe. There's a segment of us that are this emasculated, self-hating, masochistic, generation that that's predominantly on the yuppie areas of New York, like in Midtown Manhattan, and in Connecticut, and then the left coast in California. You see some concentration, and in Chicago you see a lot of concentrations of this. But yeah, they feel that we are to blame for everything in the whole entire world, and we should just just love everybody, and everybody else has more rights than us, and this is white privilege, and oh my God, and all the sins of the past, and this, that, and the other, and they just walk around with guilt because they're a bunch of idiots. They don't have any critical capacity to think straight, and they're self-hating, man. It's like Georgi Soros. He's like a self-hating Jew. So So of course these leftists are like self-hating Americans. They hate the fact they're Americans. They want to apologize for it. So this is what happens, man. You know, this is what happens. But the rest of the country is not like that.
Craziness.
Yeah, it's nuts, bro. I can't, dude. It's a mental disorder. It's a
Yeah,
mental disorder. I'm
absolutely.
telling you. I mean, Michael Savage, he always says liberalism is a mental disorder. In this year, 2016, and going into here we are in 2017, I can clearly see that the left is nuts. They've lost it, man.
Completely. And I think the election sent them over the top.
Yep. I mean, it was the election of Donald Trump was the biggest trigger in the world for these guys. Their safe spaces are gone, CJ. They don't know what to do.
Yeah, well, and I tell you what, some of the news that keeps coming out, switching topics a little bit, just in regards to the precious metals and gold V in particular. You look at what's happening, where some states are looking to reinstitute some gold reserves. Texas, I think, did it last year. Utah, I think, is on the radar. And then we look what happened in Germany, with Germany bringing their gold home sooner than planned.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, it's well, why are they doing that? I thought it was a barbarous relic, CJ. I thought it was a barbarous relic. Why are they doing this? It's unreal. So, stashed away at the height of the Cold War in safe havens well out of Moscow's reach, 3,300 tons of 120 billion euro gold stockpiles become a symbol of Germany's economic ascent and the guardian of its stability. What? Did I read that correctly from CNBS, CJ? They're admitting. I'm going to read that line again. Let me see if the rest of y'all caught this. Stashed away at the height of the Cold War in safe havens well out of Moscow's reach, 3,378 tons, 120 billion euro gold stockpile has become a symbol of Germany's economic ascent and a guardian of its stability. Did I read that correctly?
Yeah, they put it out there. They went
there. They just said the guardian of it's a store of wealth. Are they admitting it's not a barbarous relic?
I think they just did, V.
Oh,
the writing's on the wall for them. They're starting to understand the direction that the EU is going.
I think so. I think having already moved 583 tons of gold out of New York and Paris, the Bundesbank plans to have half its gold in Frankfurt by the end of 2017, years ahead of the 2020 schedule, and the rest split between the Federal Reserve Bank in New York and England. We have a lot of discussions about Trump regarding implications on monetary policy, macroeconomics, but we trust the Central Bank of the U.S. You're an idiot. Bank member, look, who can trust Janet Yellen? I mean, we all know Stanley Fischer's running this show, but come on. Trump has not triggered a discussion about the storage facility in New York. Okay. Well, here's the thing. You guys are seeing the handwriting on the wall. You guys are clearly moving gold. It's a barbarous relic. You notice Canada's not doing what's Canada doing. They sold off everything they have. They just trust their central bank. Bunch of morons. Hey, speaking of Canada, did you see the refugees that was like risking life and limb? They're deporting themselves out of America, crossing the frozen tundra. They're getting like frostbitten. They're having their arms and legs cut off because they're all frostbitten, turned to ice.
I didn't see that, but Trudeau's promising them the world right now.
Oh, yeah. Good luck, Trudeau. Have fun at it. Ruining Canada. Oh, Canada, my screwed up and faithful land. Oh, my God. Please, libtards, go over there. That's the beacon right there. Go. Just leave. Leave. Unreal, man. What's this I'm hearing that about Miss Senor Carlos Not So Slim?
Well, you all know, like, recent data has just completely shown that the news media, including print, is completely losing a lot of traffic, right? I mean, the people just aren't going to their site. They're not subscribing. And you look at what, like, for example, Drudge is doing. Drudge has become like the premier with traffic and news source, from the internet.
Yeah. And
this really caught my eye because it started to make some sense in terms of, the filtering of data, where I look in my news feed and I see primarily a lot of the MSM. I don't see, it's almost like they're censoring a little bit of that data. But then this report came out, V, that actually gives some tracking of where some of these numbers are coming from, in particular with the Times, with the Washington Post, the Guardian. And interesting enough, China, who has some of the toughest censoring in terms of the news media, there's been a huge flow of traffic coming from China to the New York Times. So this tracks, like, at one point, a year ago, it was like 5.1% was flowing from China to the US for the New York Times.
Yeah.
At the peak, it was about 23%. Well, here we are in February of 2017, and traffic flow to the Times is at 49.2%, exceeding the United States at 35. So they're probably paying a company. It's clickbait. They're paying, obviously advertisements that hit websites when people click on those and everything for revenue. So they're paying some firm in China to sit there and traffic their site.
They're probably hitting them with like ads for Tinder or something like that in Chinese, bro.
And it's interesting when you make sense in something I wasn't aware of, but it appears that Carlos Slim has entered in an agreement with one of the Chinese JC Motors, and I guess apparently they're purchasing or making an SUV in Hidalgo, Mexico, and Carlos Slim is a co-owner in that program.
Huh. JC, what are they gonna do with it? They're gonna sell it to the Mexicans?
I don't know what they're gonna do with it.
No. I mean, what Chinese car company has taken off in the Western world? Name one. I mean, you got the biggest one: Brilliance, Geely, Shuang Wang, Gumhoy.
Well,
which one has taken off? CJ, which one? Name one, not one.
Here's what I think what's going to happen. I think they're going to sell them to the drug cartels.
That's what's going to happen. Carlos is going to be like, "Hey, listen, guys, we are going to sell this car to you. You will buy it." I mean, it's an electric. They're going to sell it to the drug cartels so they can quietly sneak over the border in electric. But they might get range anxiety, CJ.
They might get
range anxiety.
Too
ridiculous.
Funny.
This whole electric car BS, man. It's got to stop. Oh my God. Can't stand it, CJ.
Yeah, I mean, Tesla's even what they do a month ago, right? Just took completely motors out of their names because they realized that no one is well, obviously they're selling a few of their cars, but they're just so pricey. And what can you go like 45 miles? And that's about it.
Yeah, you can go like I think now they're saying 300 miles you can go, but
at what, 55 miles an hour?
Exactly. You got to go at 55 to 56 miles an hour to achieve this on flat ground, no hills. And you might even get a little bit more if you go downhill with a nice with a nice wind at your back. It's ridiculous, bro. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, then you go charge it. Okay, how long do we going to? Oh, an hour. The hell you want me to do for an hour? Just walk around a charging station all day? Sit in my car? I don't get it, man. No, thank you. The future is not electric. It's really not. Probably hydrogen or some other, electro flow technology they're coming out with. Maybe that, not the traditional, typical plug-and-play electric car. Good Lord, man. Anyway, bro, I think that brings us to the end of the program.
Yeah. Big day today.
Bro. Yeah, big day today. Give out the shout-outs and the announcements real quick, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to be doing Solutions Matter with our Generations Collide, 11 a.m. today. We'll have to talk offline. We may run that live. We already have a show that we have scheduled to be released on Saturday. And then also this afternoon, we're going to be moving our 4 o'clock show to 5, and Eric from TCK Radio is going to be joining us live. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Good deal.
And that's Tradcat Night, just so that everyone understands the abbreviation there, but I'm sure everyone picked it up.
Absolutely. With that being said, guys, I'm V, the Guerrilla Economist, and my main man, CJ. Again, check us out on roguemoney.net. Follow us on Twitter at @TheRogueMoney. And also check out the Rogue Money Facebook page. And guys, again, if you or somebody you know is suffering from debt, you have collectors, calling the heck out of you, or, harassing you, telling you they're going to come through the window and steal your kids. If that's happening, then you need to call my guys over at myfreedomnow.us. Book a call, and I will call you back. Okay, you might even get me on the phone, and we'll discuss the options that they have in order to help you move forward. With that being said, it's myfreedomnow.us. With that being said, CJ, We're done. Over and out. Take it away, buddy.